Ladies and gentlemen, this is JoeJinMovieSoAwesome. I'm Joe.
I'm one Jin.
Today we are going to talk about Mad Max Saga Furiosa. Or Furiosa.
A Mad Max Saga.
Full spoilers ahead for Furiosa
and also the Mad Max Fury Road.
And the original trilogy on Mad Max. Oh, I want to apologize because last week I said I didn't remember if Mad Max Thunderdome was directed by George Miller, but it was. And it's been a long time since I saw the movie, so I should have kept my big trap shut. But please ignore all my comments about that particular movie. I will watch it again later. But big shout out to Scott Walker, big shout out to ZZ, big shout out to Ichan Hong, big shout out to our newest subscriber, our 37th subscriber. Please don't be shy, and you can leave a comment on our live or a reply. Scott Walker, we did see your Little Rascal 1994. Wonjin sort of remembers watching it. I don't remember watching it.
When I see the poster, I remember the guy with the spiky hair, but I don't really recall what the movie was about. It was about like a... It was kind of like a romance thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
anyway,
I don't remember much.
But
I'm going to have to watch it again.
We'll talk about that more on our Let's Talk session. Oh, what's up? Is spooky there? Korea, it's not spooky at all. It's actually very slightly humid yet cool. Summer's coming in Korea.
What's up, Dizzy?
I like your tiger icon. Me and Wonjin, we are born in the zodiac tiger year, so we like the animal. But anyway, this cast is going to focus on Furiosa review, so let's talk about other stuff later, okay, guys? But anyway, here we go. You know, Wonjin, let me go first.
Okay.
I really did not like Dementus. And I gotta praise this movie for, because I was worried whether they were gonna do another Immortan Joe, because he is the warlord in Fury Road. He has the sidekicks, the bullet guy and the titty fetish dude. So here I did wonder how they were gonna distinguish like a villain in this mad world. And I gotta say, I like the character. I like him as a character, but I hated him. Like he's Fast and the Furious and Mad Max Series, I don't see much similarity, Walker.
I think they're very different.
Scrotus and Rictus.
That's right.
We saw Rictus in Fury Road, but
now we have Scrotus.
Yeah, I guess he's the older brother, and then he passes away sometime in the middle or whatever. But Dementus, I gotta say, you know, he's sort of like Joker in the fact that I felt like because Immortan Joe, I didn't hate him at all. I found him actually.
I thought he was awesome.
No. Let's put it differently. Let's say, yeah, he is a sick guy, but he was relatable. You know, because so if you think about it, he wants to have a son. He's a visionary. He has order. While Dementus is sort of, he's this he's self-loathing, like. He doesn't understand power. It kind of explains why Immortan Joe wins the 40-day Marsh War. Because I felt like Immortan was a genius, and Dementus just doesn't have that vision. He's like, he's almost like a creature of the wasteland. He gave up. So, you know, we get his lines sometimes about like him losing a daughter or family. They might be lies, by the way. Just like Joker always tells different stories about his past. But I particularly did not like him, and it made total sense for me that like his lieutenants will betray him. Because I feel like Immortan Joe is like the opposite boss. Like they're so loyal that those of course, I mean, they are brainwashed, but those war boys just die for their leader.
100% faith.
Yeah.
That's what makes them dangerous.
Yeah, because I mentioned Dementus first because the main character is only good as the villain, right? And Dementus is such a mirror to Furiosa. You know, I found their kind of like semi father-daughter relationship really, really fascinating and creepy. You know, because she is sort of a surrogate daughter to Dementus. Except what makes Furiosa such a compelling character is that she has hope, and she found
and
love.
she has that goal.
Yeah.
Of like having revenge.
Yeah. No, but I think the revenge is. It changes to something because she wants redemption. So what's amazing about Furiosa character, because we know where she's going, is that despite this crazy world, you know, and like her characterization was amazing because like again, like Fury Road, there are only few dialogues. George Miller is such a master at like visual storytelling. She didn't even need any line. Remember when her mother is in danger? She doesn't need to come back, and she does. When Jack is in danger, she doesn't need to come back, but she does. So it's a characterization that we know what kind of person she is at heart. She's a good person. And
yeah, that's a really good point, because
yeah, what
that reminds me of from the movie is the scene where Furiosa's mother hesitates killing that woman in the tent.
Right, exactly.
And it's because she still has humanity inside of her, and she has compassion, and because of that compassion, she gets killed.
Yeah.
If she hadn't left her alive, or at least like knocked her out, they wouldn't have gotten caught so easily.
Yeah.
And remember, because of that sandstorm, their track would disappear.
Right.
And they could have gotten away.
I completely
because
agree.
she was a human who has compassion towards another mother, she couldn't kill her. And I think that rubs off on Furiosa.
Yeah. I mean, and Furiosa, I think she struggles to keep her humanity too, and that's the. And I gotta say, like, what's up?
Says she literally made her mother die for nothing. She's dumb.
Because she turned back for her mother instead of doing what she was told. Oh my God!
But that's what makes her a child.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what a child would do. She doesn't want her mother to die.
Right. And then, like okay, at least her intention was pure. Okay, she obviously returning to save her or something. Okay, and let's be honest. Like, how can she expect this? That's what, like, and I gotta say, I don't know how you. I know Fury Road was also violent, but the violence here, despite like some of it not being shown, was particularly disturbing for me.
Yeah, me too. Like when they were torturing the mother, and also when what's his name?
Jack.
Praetorian Jack was getting killed. I mean, we see the dogs chasing him around, but we know eventually what's going to happen.
I mean, the dogs are chasing him because he's getting ripped apart by the sand.
Ramsey Bolton shit.
Yeah. And like Furiosa's mother, I think it's implied that she's being disemboweled, like alive. And remember later they have the human sausage and with litter stuffing. So that's why I also found Dementus a little disturbing, because I felt like impaired. Like I mean, Immortan Joe actually had a logic to his punishments, maybe. But I felt like Dementus was being cruel for cruelty's sake.
And I love the name too, Dementus. He's demented basically, and I love how he has like this wise man next to him, like teaching him history and shit.
Yeah.
And the fact that he was in that tent and everything, it kind of gave me this feeling of like a Roman emperor or something.
I think they definitely did that because he has this.
Yeah, it's like a chariot.
Yeah.
The 3 bikes.
Yeah, and I also love the visual telling of Dementus, because remember, when we meet him, he has this Jesus-like attire on.
With the teddy bear in the back.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like he's a dark Jesus. Yet remember when the war boy shoots the red thing, he embraces the redness on himself, and later we lose him. We literally see him losing his power because his hair has turned white. He can't control the gas town, his own men. So I thought it showed like a great decay of a man.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, that's true.
Because we have 3 visual image of him. Literally, when we first meet him, he is sort of like this Jesus figure in a way, but a dark Jesus, and like he basically baptizes Furiosa. Because I thought there was a lot of symbolic visual telling more than Fury Road. Because remember, Furiosa, the first thing we see her is get the fruit.
Yeah.
Like Eve.
Mm-hmm.
And in a way, like that fruit, I think it's a very subtle criticism at like patriarchy. Because remember in the Bible, like getting that fruit is, oh, this Eve, you stupid biatch, you didn't know shit. And then like it's sort of, it's like there is a subtle, it's like a misogyny there, right? But here, it kind of seems that way. But later that fruit turns into a symbol of her humanity and power. So I thought, first of all, this is a very different movie than Furio. I thought it was like rich in those sort of literally like symbolic elements.
Yeah. And it's great that you mentioned that, because after watching the movie, I was thinking to myself, like, what's the difference between Fury Road and this? And we mentioned last time that Fury Road it's like an Odyssey. It's a very simple plot. You start from here, you go there, and then you come back, and all the adventure and journey happens in between. But with this, it's very different. It's much more, I think, complex, and to me it kind of felt more like one of those like Greek mythologies. It, like a story where like a tragedy and a great triumph is all mixed together. Like
Jason and the Argonauts.
Yeah,
It's
it kind
like
of feels like that.
Well, it literally does say a saga, though. So, I mean, I felt like it was me and Wonjin, we say this all the time, but it's a kind of a Bildungsroman, too. It's a child reaching maturity.
Yeah, coming of age.
But it's also a saga because, like the Icelandic saga, it's fucking violent as hell. Like,
Scott Walker, you think Mel Gibson will be interested? We talked about this last time, but I think he might be. But I think if he ever returns to this Mad Max franchise, I hope to see him in a villain role.
Right.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
That would be nice. The fruit also means purity in the movie. Sure, it also, I would say, I would actually say close to hope. Because remember
the seed,
right?
That also symbolizes hope throughout the whole movie. And that's the fruit from that seed.
And I like how Dementus is literally implanted with the seed of hope, and this, Dark Father becomes the fucking
He's getting his life juiced out.
by
the hope tree.
So it's a very simple, smart symbolism that permeates the movie too. Because even like that Rictus Erectus thing, where his room is full of like kid dolls and stuff.
Yeah, and I kind of thought it was funny that he had this like pedophile tendencies.
Did you think it was pedophile?
The moment he unchained that chastity belt, I knew that was like some pedophile shit.
Okay.
Because that was unnecessary.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Because I was a little bit confused, because I was like, whether this was his like, how like grown men with maybe less mental capacity have this fascination for children, and it's not necessarily always pedophilia. But now that you say that, okay, it's fucking on the money, huh? Okay.
It's like there's no reason for him to unchain that.
Oh my god. And so, no, but like, what do you think about, like, here's the thing though. After watching this movie, I have a mixed feelings about getting that kind of backstories though, because one of the beauty of Fury Road was all the characters, all we know about them is how they look like, how they're acting, and
there's no explanation about them.
And sometimes it's hinted at maybe, but part of the charm is that they are sort of this, they're just there, and then there's no unnecessary backstory here, but we do get a lot of explanation here that I do find, like for example, Immortan Joe immediately looking at Furiosa and said, "Yeah, give her to me," and those things were, I mean, they were fun in this movie, but I'm not sure if it really helps the watching experience of Fury Road though. But that's how I felt.
Yeah, it was different in style. I mean, yes, we do get some more backstories, but I'm thinking maybe since we have recurring characters, some people would actually appreciate some explanation. But I also like the fact that they still did not explain some of the things that we were wondering about from Fury Road. For example, why the war boys spray paint their mouth with a chrome spray can.
Right.
They still do it, but we have no idea why. We just assume that it's some sort of ritual before they go kamikaze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? It doesn't matter, because one of the baddest scenes is in the beginning where the titty fetish guy is like, choose one warrior.
Yo, that was my favorite scene in the entire movie.
Really?
That first encounter between Immortan Joe and Dementus, because as you watch the movie, as we see Dementus like roaming across this wasteland, you just gotta assume it's like, okay, this guy's got Gastown and all that. Oh, did he? No, he did not get Gastown before that. But anyway, so he's got an army of these bikers. It's like, how will Immortan Joe fight this off? I mean, it's like a fight between the villains. It's like the moment when I saw what's that movie with Will Smith, Enemy of the State. You know, in the end we have the mobster,
right,
and then we have that NSA big shot, and they finally face off, and they have this like big dick contest. So in this case, when Dementus was making his speech about how he's gonna share the food and everything, and blah 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 blah. Yeah, I love how the human eater, I think that's his name.
Man eater, I think. Yeah, people eater.
He just ignores everything he said, and he's just like, pick a war boy. Yeah. And I like when he said pick a war boy, I kind of got the feeling, it's like, oh my god, they're gonna do some crazy like zealot shit. Yeah. And man, when that guy says like, witness me, and without like any hesitation, he just jumps down with that lance. I was like, oh shit, there's no way in hell that Dementus is ever gonna win against this group of crazies. Yeah,
I did like now that you mentioned that, I did like how, unlike Fury Road, I mean, there is a similar action scene with when Furiosa befriends Jack for the first time, and she tries to leave the Citadel for the first time. But I did like how the two big action scenes like that were like 360 instead of a chase, because even that one. We get a dome-like view of the battle, right? Yeah. But remember, even when the Bullet Farm trap, when Jack and Furiosa are trying to escape Dementus' trap, I did like how the action scene was filmed that way.
Yeah, it was like spiraling in.
Yeah, it was very dynamic, and I really appreciated how they did something that they already did in Fury Road with the octopus guy. The octopus, black octopus bike guy chase scene, but they also did this new kind of scene. Because my favorite my favorite scene was the Bullet Farm trap. I thought, and even the CGI, I thought they intentionally did it a little tacky with the bullets and stuff when they was falling down. Yeah. And I love the Furiosa and Dementus' rocket versus rifle sniper match. Like it was and because that scene was also thematic rich, because see, again, visual storytelling at its best. Remember when Furiosa says goodbye to her mother, they touch each other's head, right? Like, they never say out loud that Jack and Furiosa are lovers or something, but we kind of get a hint of that when they do the touching
the head thing.
Yeah,
I think it's like the Villainy like culture thing.
Yeah. So when Furiosa was like, because we also learned new things from this. Green means I'm okay. Red means help me, according to the Citadel culture, right? But when Jack shot the green and she was about to leave, man, they first of all, Anya Taylor-Joy is I think this is her best acting role, because I feel like an actor who doesn't have dialogue has to work really hard. Yeah. Like, just the body acting.
And she especially had a big shoe to fill, because the previous person to play her role was none other than Charlize Theron. Yeah. And I got a chance to watch the old Mad Max Fury Road again before watching this one. Okay. I remember when she first, I saw her when she first came across the Villainy again, and she basically identifies herself, and all these old like gangster grandmas, they show up in the motorcycle and everything. They ask her about the mother. She tells them that she died on the third day, and they do this ritual thing. Right. And you have to look carefully at Charlize Theron's like acting there. You can see that she's sad, And you can see that she's recalling that ritual for the first time in like 20 years, and she's kind of joyful about it. And then she's filled with sadness and also like joy at the same time in those like 3 seconds of facial expression. I was like, man.
Yeah, now that you said that, you know what was weird about it though? Like that in the Furiosa, in the beginning, there was just one grandpa there, I think. Is he like the father of everybody? I was like, is that
why is that a dude?
Is that the luckiest grandpa in the world? I did wonder how they procreate though. And I only saw one grandpa or maybe one other dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but anyway, you're right. And then I love Anya Taylor-Joy's acting there because, like, the camera and her, like, we're right there with her. Do I go or save Jack? And then when she decides to save Jack, like, that's some of the most badass scenes ever.
The fuck yeah.
Yeah, and then, like, saving. And then Jack seeing she's in danger, and then you can tell he cares about her. And then that was important because it builds up to the Jack execution scene. And then when the arm got out, I knew like when Dementus like hung her by the arm, I knew she was gonna escape doing that.
I thought it was either gonna like fall off because of her injury from being crushed by the truck, or that because of gravity, like because she's hung up behind the truck, that it was eventually gonna fall off. And now since Joe is using the bathroom, let's take a look at the comments. Hold on. Alright, Scott Walker. Did you know the original Mad Max was filmed here in Melbourne, Australia, out in the countryside? Melbourne, Victoria. My dad told me about it. Yeah, I can see that, you know, a lot of the actors, even like the extras, and that red guitar guy, even the red guitar guy, they're mostly Australian. I can see that this movie is employing a lot of Australian people, and also it's recruiting a lot of Australian talent. Which is a good thing, I guess. It's creating a lot of jobs. And let's see. Because it is something super rare, very valuable, and untouched by the outside misery. Yeah, the child, I think, Zezzy's talking about. And Jin, do you feel Mel Gibson will be interested in returning to the Mad Max franchise? And what do you think happened to his character in the movies? You know, I don't remember what happened like in the franchise. He was in the first 2 movies, right? But I think he plays a very different role.
No, he's in the third one too.
Okay. Also in the third one.
Oh yeah, and now that you mentioned that, there is a small cameo by Mad Max in Furiosa too. Remember when she almost arrives at the Citadel, and she's lost all hope, but Matt...
Yeah, we see his car.
So, what did you think about that? I thought that kind of implied that he took her to the Citadel or something. You know, like, because I remember Furiosa falling off on the ground, and then maybe or maybe not. Because there's a lot of this movie has a lot of what's different from Fury Road is there's a lot of like hints. Because Fury Road is very direct.
Yeah.
Boom! Our babies won't be warlords, bitch. And it's like a very direct Richters! Witness me! It's like there's no confusion about what's going on, but I did feel like Furiosa had more
we had some guessing games.
Yeah, a lot of like hints and stuff like that.
But anyways, you know, I somehow knew that she was going to lose an arm because of Dementus. I also thought that maybe they're going to chop off her arm because of that map she has, so that she can never find her home again.
Yeah.
Because maybe she attempts to escape and tries to find home, and she gets caught, and they're going to chop it off or something. But turns out it was like after an accident, and she was like chained up to a truck, that she just chopped it off herself.
No, Scott Walker, we did answer it. Only... we don't think so, but...
How do you know the guitar guy was Australian? It was pretty famous. He's actually... I heard that he's... I forgot his name. Sean Hape?
Is it?
He's also known as Iota. That's his artist name. And I think he is a musician. You didn't answer my question. Do you think Mel Gibson will be interested? Yeah, I think he will be more than interested.
But I don't think it's up to him, though. It'll be up to be George Miller.
It's got to be up to the director.
Right.
But so far, the franchise has proven that it can do well without Mel Gibson. So I don't think there really is the need for Mel Gibson to reappear on the show. But if he does, then it's going to be awesome.
And now that you mentioned that, I wish Like, cause I felt like because the Furiosa character was so interesting in Fury Road, I thought the Tom Hardy's Max is a little underrated. I felt like he did a great acting too, because Furiosa in the Fury Road worked because of, remember how, see, it's very similar visual storytelling as Furiosa too, because we get to see them distrusting each other, but they never outright say, now we're buddies. Like, as the movie progresses, we see them trusting each other more and more. Remember they started teaming up together?
Yeah, it's kind of like what we saw between Jack and young Furiosa.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, because in Fury Road, the movie starts with Max's monologue, and he says they're all reduced to a single instinct, survival. And we can kind of understand all that distrust. They don't trust anybody because like the most important thing for them is survival. And there are a lot of people who basically like feast off other people's compassion and goodwill. For example, remember when Furiosa returns to her home and there's that lady up in the tower saying that, oh, please get here before somebody else gets. That's a trap.
Right. Because they're expecting attack. And I think she's Valkyrie. I think she's the actual little sister.
Oh, that's right.
I may be wrong. Don't quote me.
Because I think, I don't know if I heard it, but in the original Fury Road, there was one of the ladies' name was Valkyrie, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I mean, I thought she was Valkyrie. Like,
doesn't she get killed though? But anyways, so maybe in this movie we get to see the young little Valkyrie.
I was surprised at that scene where she literally detached her own arm in pure silence, which 100%, yeah.
That concept, pure animal behavior.
No, and I did like, because see, I think some people might find like lack of explanation in Furiosa frustrating, but I like how there's a lot of symbolism, because remember after she cuts off the arm that contains the map to the home, it's like a literal symbol of her forgetting about going home and thinking about revenge.
Yeah.
But once
and survival.
But once she confronts Dementus, like she gets hope again. You know, because I like how Dementus is like, you just like me, bitch. And then like, no, she's not. Like she's kind of like, it's also like a very dark version of a teenage girl becoming independent of their parent. Because I did feel like Dementus, in his own demented fucking way, loved Furiosa.
Because we can also see that from the mayhem at the Citadel. You know, when she's about to get like chained up and taken away, he kind of risks his own life trying to save her in that moment.
And he was very reluctant to give her to Immortan Joe too. I don't think that was an act. And what the fuck is up with this titty fetish shit? Why? I hated that scene with
the nipple thing. Like, what's up with that?
Why do you need it to be there? I was completely confused of that threat. I was like, huh. And so I did feel like he had this demented relationship with Furiosa, except Furiosa happened to be sane. She's like she keeps her sanity in this mad world, and I like that characterization of her, because there are so many temptations for her to become another Dementus, you know. But I think a lot of these father figure, love figure, like I like how she is forged in the end. Like, because she definitely learns all that stuff from Jack that we saw on Fury Road. And I like, because the character of Jack was also interesting. He's this kind of like sensei character and a lover character. And
I wish they like showed us a little more of him, because he was intriguing. Because at first I did not understand why he was trying to help her.
Okay.
Yeah, because that was...
I thought it was just empathy, like really. And
which makes me wonder what made him have empathy in that world.
Because remember, there are moments of empathy. Remember that the octopus chain gang scene? Well, like one of the guys fall off and he finds Furiosa hiding there. But before he dies, he's 100% going to die. He gives her the thing to fix the engine.
The hose. Yeah.
Yeah, so...
I think that's empathy, but also I think it's like a decision making on what is the most important in that moment. The truck needs to be fixed to get the mission complete.
I know, but he could have just died together because he's gonna die anyway. I thought that was.
I thought that was more like a soldier thing. Yeah.
No, but yet, like, okay, let's disagree here because I thought that, like, for me, that was like because you just caught somebody who is she's not supposed to be there. So like he could get angry and drag her with her. But he says, you go fix it. Hurry up. We got to save everybody. So I thought that was sort of a noble act on his part. Because there are a few scenes of him where he's kind of suspicious of Furiosa. But like I like how a lot of we get a lot of unexpected moments like that, small. And when it comes to Jack, like, see, again, this is a visual storytelling. Because when he first locks eye with Furiosa, when she like fixes the engine, right? And when I saw Jack, I was like, baby, like, who is this beautiful woman? Like, and now that you mentioned that, there is one confusing thing for me though. Like, why doesn't Immortan Joe like recognize Furiosa?
Yeah.
I was just like, no, they're coming to Citadel. I thought Immortan Joe was just, how did you get the fuck out of my?
And remember, later on, she grew her hair back.
Yeah.
Don't you think he would recognize
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I thought that was a little weird because I wish they added a scene where Immortan Joe doesn't like her anymore because her arms is chopped off.
Oh, okay.
So that would make like her like a flawed thing.
Kind of like turns him off.
Yeah, like because but that still doesn't make sense because remember Wonjin in Fury Road, the last thing Furiosa says to Immortan Joe,
remember me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, so that means she's trying to tell him that, oh, you took me as a child and tried to make you your wife, but I am me. I was like, no, like, how does that work? Like, he would have recognized you right away, I felt.
Oh, man.
The scene in the first man where we said that woman singing and you see that man and woman, are they having sex or they're dancing in the original one? I actually don't remember, Walker. And he helped her because he owed his life to her. She literally... Oh, right. Zezzy, you're right. That's a simple explanation.
That's true.
No, but Jack... Oh, I love how we know Jack is a good guy immediately because, like Furiosa, he first dumps her and then he returns. And there's this camera moment just like the one we always see with Furiosa. And like you mentioned, compassion in the Wasteland is gonna...
It's lethal. It's gonna kill you.
And Jack's decision to save Furiosa ultimately cost him his life. And like, cause so that was like, that's the moment I hated Dementus when he said, once he catches him, which is that scene was crazy, by the way, that monster truck.
Oh man, we gotta talk about like the cars and everything because like Scott Walker's talking about his uncle building one of the Mad Max cars. The car plays a huge role in this movie. Yeah. And remember in Fury Road, they chant V8. Basically, it's like a god. Yeah. But anyways, so that's...
No. Before I let you talk about that, I wanted to one of the great line in this movie that shows Dementus characters. Where were you going with all so hope? There is no hope. He's this pathetic figure. Like he can't afford others' love. Yet he talks about, oh, I lost a wife and a daughter. And so I thought that scene was really great acting by Chris Hemsworth, in charge of the engine functioning, and then he got ambushed from all sides, and she started shooting everyone on the truck. Yeah. Oh, the black car. I think it might be in somebody's garage, Walker.
Yeah.
So anyway, Wonjin, you go with the car. Wonjin.
I mean, after watching Fury Road, I was concerned about two things. Number one was, would Anya Taylor-Joy be able to fill Charlize Theron's shoes? And also, the other one was, will there be something new for us to see in terms of like visual spectacle? And George Miller came up with some certain like new ideas. Number one is like that airborne attack with the paragliders and everything. That was pretty fresh. But it made me wonder. I mean, since this is the past, they had that airstrike thing. Where did that go? Like 20 years later.
No, but don't you think it made me?
It's kind of regressed.
No, but it made me think it was really efficient because I feel like in the Furiosa, she can just get out of the and just rifle shoot the guy. Like I felt like it should have flied higher for like actual air superiority. Because and the funny thing is, I like how the war rig happens to have this harpoon specifically. It seems specifically to like knock him off.
And I love how the rig is even more beautiful from like the later versions in the Fury Road. You remember that artwork on the side of the container?
Oh yeah, it was
man,
amazing.
that was badass. And it
yeah.
has that big like steel spinning ball in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are some new touches, and I thought they were very effective. I was kind of wondering when they're gonna use it, but eventually they kind of save it for the last. So that was pretty cool. And we got to talk about the cars, man. You know, in the original Fury Road, watching those like cars driven by the bosses, you know, like Immortan Joe and the People Eater guy and all these guys. And what was that guy? The Bullet Farm guy, the one with the track, the Caterpillar.
Yeah,
those are pretty cool. But in this one, we have this big ass monster truck that can basically overcome anything, and it's fast as hell. That thing's basically like it's like cheating in that Wasteland. And there was no way for what's her name, Furiosa and Jack to outrun them despite their best efforts. And I also love how it like climbs that crazy hill.
Yeah, that was a great scene.
Yeah.
No, it showed Dementus at his scariest though, because he's like, his hate for Furiosa was like so fascinating. Like it's his obsession to catch that drives him to do that crazy move.
And the funny thing is, at that point, he doesn't even remember her as Furiosa. He doesn't even know that she's Furiosa.
Yeah, you're right.
Think he was just triggered by their love and sacrifice.
Oh yeah,
it's like, you think you're better than me? Fuck that shit. I'm gonna crush it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I was wrong there. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention was I like how the gas town, like the command center, has an oil painting. Yeah, because there's so much oil painting. And later in the scene, we see it bloodied after Dementus takes over, which symbolizes the madness that, like, I think Dementus is a guy that just destroys everything he touches.
And basically, like,
he brings out the worst in people.
He doesn't have the culture to actually preserve and flourish what humanity already has. Yeah,
and like he sacrifices his men to get into the farm, and then that kind of explains how, you know, he's so untrustworthy. You know, and
I think that's why their faction eventually split up. Yeah, because that guy with the black mask, he hated it.
Yeah, it was his men. So, and I like all those stuff. Which part of Australia was this new Mad Max filmed in? Actually, do you know? I don't know.
I have no clue. Yeah, but it there's a lot of desert, so maybe it's in the outbacks.
To make her seem like she fits the role. Okay, so biologically, I agree there. I did feel like Charlize
Theron
kind of fit the role better. Yeah, in that aspect,
and especially when you look at the mother, you can tell that she's a big woman. You can tell that her physique is like strong, like in the intro.
You mean Furiosa's mother?
Furiosa's mother, yeah.
No, I thought she was too skinny.
Well, you can from her bone structure, from her frame, you can see that she's a strong woman.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, since I mentioned the intro again, I love how, like you said, there's minimal dialogue, and I love that music, like the drumming sounds, like dum 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 dum.
Oh, what do you think about the soundtrack of this?
Oh, I thought it was awesome.
Really?
Yeah, I really like the music here.
I gotta say though, I have one disappointment. I thought there would be one more epic score, like because one of my favorite score in Fury Road is the one where when was his name Nux or Nut about to witness me, and he dies, and there's this sad kind of like,
oh yeah,
so like that's also the sound when they enter the sandstorm in the first one, because that one made me, because you know how and then suddenly it's like, oh shit, I thought that one track was missing, where it's kind of like more of a traditional opera style, where
Like you feel the tragedy.
Yeah, the tragedy, the scale, and then that was a little bit missing. You know, but I agree with you that
I like the music. My one disappointment was you know that 40-day war thing.
Oh,
I actually hope that they would
gonna
show us, because I mean it just hints and it just gives us like glimpses and of the devastation of the battle. But I was really hoping to see Dementus and Immortan Joe meeting each other out in the field.
Oh yeah.
See how they go against each other.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was missing. So that was my disappointment.
Oh man, I think we might maybe we'll get another one if they do make another one. Because I agree with you. Because
Mad Max, the 40-day war.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Or hey, if they make another movie, I wish now because you know this movie is called Mad Max Saga, and I did wonder afterwards, where's Max? And because you know, in a way, Furiosa. Okay. Furiosa is definitely a different character from the original 80s Mad Max. Because in the original, Max is basically somebody who have things happen to him.
He lost his family, I think.
No, even in this like first one, second one, I'm not trying to talk about his backstory. I'm talking about his role as a character.
Oh, okay.
He's basically almost always like a observer of events, and he always says, "I don't want to get involved," and he gets involved. Yet he has this sort of stoicism. And his very point is he disappears at the night. At the end, the legend says, he disappears. But Furiosa is just right there. Like hers is one of ultra focused lens. So what I'm trying to say, all this gibberish I'm trying to say is, I do miss that Max too. You know,
I agree.
I need both of your opinions on this. Do you think there's any point of bringing back the original Mad Max car? Or I don't think in this universe that original car would work, though. Because we already have so much remix cars.
Yeah,
right?
and also there are a lot more awesome things besides the original Mad Max car. For example, the War Rig.
Right.
The War Rig itself, and even in Fury Road, that was like the signature vehicle.
Yeah, I think this series will be defined by the War Rig, though. Now that you said that, I wish they made a crazy War Rig now. You know, because in the trailers, I was hoping they made something like that. There's this Furiosa statue, like a golden statue with fucking tires and everything, like alien statue shit. I thought that was gonna be in the movie at the end. Like, I hated the ending credit. I did not like the ending credit.
Oh, the one that shows like
the Fury
glimpses
Road.
of the flash forward.
Yeah,
into
Fury
the
Road.
Fury Road movie.
I mean, I get it. Like, I guess they're trying to make a point that but I thought they should have done something like the crazy statue and everything. I was expecting that. That's one little because it made me think like, that's Anya Taylor-Joy and that's Charlize Theron. Like they're two different actors. I think confused me a little because they added that. We know it's a Oh yeah, Private Vasquez and Aliens. Yeah, she's actually British. That's she's acting Hispanic in the Aliens movie. You know what made me feel sad about the original Mad Max? His baby son was killed. Yeah, realized she was badly injured by getting run over. But yeah. So original Mad Max, the first one is a very simple tale of revenge.
And I think that's the guy's name was Toe Cutter.
Yeah.
And that's the guy who plays Immortan Joe.
In Fury Road.
The original actor, he passed away in 2020. So the Immortan Joe we see in Furiosa, this movie, it's a different actor.
Yeah,
that's
so
why
like,
his voice is not as like booming as the original.
Yeah, that's one problem I had though. All due respect to the actor, but I wish they altered it a little to sound like the
Splendid.
Yeah, Splendid. That's my property. Oh yeah, and and I did love Fury Road. There are moments of comedy. Remember, like Immortan Joe mourning, and then like, and here they had those scenes, I guess. So it's always.
I mean, there are scenes that are not supposed to be funny, but the scenes that made me laugh. For example, in the beginning when Furiosa's kidnapped and she's taken to the tent, and the guy who kidnapped her, he's basically like sabotaged by Furiosa, and he's on his dying breath, and he's trying to tell Dementus where the village was. And remember the kid like kicking him when he's upside down.
Yeah,
that kind of made me laugh.
Yeah, there was some dark comedy.
Yeah,
and that set the tone.
She's like 7 years old.
Yeah. And that set the tone for the whole movie, because when that happened, I was like, this is going to be really violent, isn't it? Because even Fury Road was violent, but I think the scenes were always passed by. But this is definitely a hard rated R movie. Yeah. Hey, but now that, okay, Wonjin, now we have to ask the inevitable question. How does this fare against Fury Road?
I don't think this... Fury Road was nominated for 10 Oscars, and it won 6. I have a feeling this is not going to win any Oscars. That's the feeling I have. Because I think the Fury Road was so well done because it brought this violent nature and this post-apocalyptic world in, and it kind of weaved it into this like postmodern Odyssey. And it had that very simple, super simple plot line, yet it had so much sophistication in the way the story was told and how the actors portray themselves. But in this one, it loses a lot of that shine. So I think it is a very good sequel to Fury Road. I mean, not sequel, it's actually like a prequel, but I don't think it's going to win any Oscars. But yeah, it doesn't mean that I didn't enjoy it. I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. I think I can rate this movie very high. But compared to Fury Road,
no, Walker, I don't think it was Mel Gibson's first movie.
I don't think it has the gravitas of Fury Road. That's my take on it. What do you think?
Well, movies don't need to win Oscars to be, recognized, Wonjin. So I know what you're trying to say, but I think this is an altogether different movie. I actually think George Miller was ambitious, because this movie kind of reminded me of Once Upon a Time in America. Because the actions and all that is, of course, there because it's the wasteland, but it's a tale about growing up. It's a dark tale about growing up, and I thought it took a lot of balls for George Miller to, because he probably knows that you and we're expecting some kind of Fury Road stuff.
Yeah.
But
the great thing is he did deliver some of the Fury Road stuff too.
But remember, like you said, Fury Road is
in return.
But this one is okay. Stop here. Let's have some talk. Okay. This is and then let's stop here. And then because I think a lot of people were disappointed, like you, that there was no 40-day Marsh War and the ending, because in Fury Road, the climax is that action when all the
war factions,
and
they were basically like caught off guard by the war rig returning to the Citadel.
And in a way, Fury Road, I think, is more faithful to the original Mad Max, because in the end, when Furiosa and the ladies are getting airlifted, Tom Hardy just says this and walks away. That's such a Mad Max thing to do. Because in a Road Warrior, that's what he is. Okay, the job is done.
Yeah.
I'm out.
I got to keep going.
Yeah.
Which is like a classic theme for many movies. Like the Ronin thing.
Right, exactly. But here, Furiosa, I thought it was just a altogether different movie. The actions are similar, but besides that, it's just a completely different movie. And I think, while I enjoyed it, I was bored like for 3 minutes in the middle, though. Just 3 minutes. But I thought 2 hour and I think this is 2 hour and 30 minutes almost. I thought they did they made a really great Bildungsroman movie. Yeah. And here's my problem with it.
What is it?
I wish it wasn't about Furiosa. I wish they I just wish they completely made a new character.
Scrotus.
Yeah.
A Mad Max Saga.
My brother Rictus is a moron. No, but I wish they I wish they made a different character in this Wasteland world. But I understand the studio's perspective and the storytelling perspective, because Furiosa was such a well-received character. So I would say this. Not because it's less than Fury Road. I thought this was almost a masterpiece, Bildungsroman, but not quite there. I just felt like it was just a different movie, put simply.
Anya Taylor-Joy already shot like a Netflix series called The Queen's Gambit, which is also a great Bildungsroman.
Wow.
So I saw on like the comment section on YouTube, a lot of people were saying this. I mean, calling this like the Furiosa's Gambit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So let's give so Fury Road is a 10 out of 10 for you,
Yeah,
right?
you gave it like 11.
Oh yeah, me too.
Like it's symbolic.
Yeah.
So it's a 10, but this one, let me go first.
Yeah.
I can give this a 9.
9.
I can give it a 9, maybe 8.5. But the reason why I give it a 9 is because it was on par.
Wait. Oh, Zetzi, hey, before you grade,
what's
maybe
up?
she wants to say something.
Rectus sticks to Scrotus for life. True brotherhood. I was watching the interview with Mel Gibson. He said that he will return to Mad Max franchise, but they had to pay me the amount of. Oh, maybe that's why the studio is not welcoming him.
Yeah, I don't think George Miller
Tell me your
would.
favorite scene and the least favorite scene. The favorite scene was like that moment when Dementus first encounters Immortan Joe at the Citadel, and he's trying to intimidate him.
You said that before, so what's your worst scene?
My worst scene would be the last scene where Furiosa and Dementus is having that conversation about hope and the past and blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
Because I thought that was very off-putting, considering that the Fury Road told us so much without actual dialogues. I think the dialogue should have been minimal. I mean, he was talking too much.
But remember in Fury Road that before they return to the Citadel, there is that dialogue-heavy scenes in there. So I thought that was maybe that, because I don't think this movie had that moment.
I think the dialogue heavy, wasn't it like when she had that reunion with the Vovellini,
Okay.
and she finds out that the green place that she had sought for is no
I agree.
longer.
Yeah. Maybe they could have made this as like a silent film almost.
Yeah. So I think that would be my least favorite scene. I thought that was pretty crap.
Okay, my favorite scene was, like I said before, where Jack and Furiosa are ambushed at the bullet farm and they escape, but later get caught. My least favorite scene was like some of the scenes in the Citadel where they show the denizens how they live. I did like how they have maggots and stuff. I didn't like I like part of the problem I had with that was, if you're gonna show us like the Citadel life, just show us everything. I felt like they kind of I thought those scenes were kind of gratuitous, like the crazy couple with the maggots.
I'm not exactly sure like what they were doing there. Is that like a butcher shop?
I don't know.
Because remember from the movie The Gladiator,
Yeah.
Russell Crowe, another great Australian actor.
Right.
He gets that maggot on his wound because maggots are very
They eat
effective
decomposing flesh.
at like cleaning your wound.
Right.
So they had her in there, but we're like unclear of their intentions. Like, were they trying to like help her out, or were they gonna like chop her up and eat her? Is it cannibalism?
Yeah. So I thought, like, I agree with you. Like, there were some like great scenes that hinted at the world like that, but I thought that one was a little bit too much. Too much. Like, I didn't need to.
Yeah.
So what about your favorite character and least favorite character?
Oh, my favorite character would be in this one. Well, Furiosa, yes, but I also really like Immortan Joe.
I knew you would say that.
Yeah, I loved how like Darth Vader-ish.
Guys, Wonjin is
he
secretly a power-hungry, like a future warlord, guys. Do not give this guy power. I knew you would say him.
I think my least favorite character was that guy who was like translating whatever Dementus said in sign language guy. Yeah, that guy was annoying.
That his hype man.
Yeah, the hype man thing.
Yeah.
He was kind of annoying.
My favorite character is Furiosa, of course. Like Furiosa, I really liked Furiosa. Like I thought, I agree with Zetzi that she doesn't have the physiology that I thought she needed for the action scenes, but I just thought her characterization and acting were great. Okay. So I'm praising the actor. She meant characters. Okay, character Furiosa character. I like how she evolves. And
what would be your least favorite?
My least favorite was, I guess Scrotus. I don't know. Like,
yeah, I mean, I didn't like dislike him, but I was kind of wondering. So what happens to him because he doesn't show up in Fury Road? So I
Right.
was thinking that maybe he was gonna die in battle in this movie, but that didn't happen.
Russell Crowe and Mel Gibson. Who is the best and the greatest actor between the two of them? It's neither for me. I really hated the boob guy. No, but I like the boob guy because he's such a great side character. Like his design is amazing. I like how he reminded me a lot of South Park. Like there's always this nipple rub up. And another I would say another of my least favorite characters was Dementus lieutenants besides Octopus guy.
Oh, okay.
The one with the black horn. Him I liked, but the other
the,
guy,
like the 5 riders or something.
yeah, because I thought they should have like, because Rictus Erectus I remember so clearly. I thought he was a great character. He's such a stereotype, a dumb big guy. But it worked because, especially in Fury
and
Road,
even his final moment was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Rictus.
he does flamethrower. Rictus, not the flamethrower, the wives. He always does this dumb stuff. Yet he's very terrifying at the same time. But the problem I had with the Dementus is like lieutenants they were so just like the woman with the cleft lips and.
You know the funny thing? That woman also plays one of the Vuvalini in the early part of the movie. She's the one who gives the gun to the mother.
Really?
Yeah. I forgot her name, but she's the woman in Fast and Furious franchise, the Brazilian cop lady.
No, but she plays Dementus lieutenant.
Yeah,
it's the same actor.
Yeah, it's the same actress. And then I looked up because I just couldn't shake off the feeling that she resembles so much of the same actress. And then I searched, and then it turns out she played 2 roles in this movie.
Okay.
And also, she's the wife of Chris Hemsworth. I didn't know they were married.
Okay.
But anyways.
But the problem I had with Dementus lieutenants were like I thought they were so generic. Except the black horn guy who's the octopus rider, I guess later. So that was a shame because you can tell how cool a guy is by his crew, right? Because in Morton Joe, when you got a titty rubber and a son named Rictus and Scrotus with oxygen mask, you know he's a badass. But I felt like Dementus was just. I thought they should have gone with more of the 4 horsemen theme.
Yeah.
Like more heavier. So maybe they do have like reverted Christian like armor and shit.
So I'm thinking maybe they shouldn't have done that survival thing, like 5 riders out of 20 thing.
Yeah.
Because that kind of like it degraded them into these group of bandits basically.
Yeah.
So like you said, maybe they should have been given more like mystique features.
Oh yeah, or something. Just something to make them seem weird. Because remember, in Titty Rubber in Fury Road, he's the one that kills Valkyrie, remember?
Yeah.
And he gets a hard-on out of that.
Oh, he's
Yeah. So, just, like, I thought that was lacking in Dementus's crew. Like, and the one scene we have from the horn guy is he's not happy with him, so he gets that face. But the other lieutenants, I thought, because think about it. If the other lieutenants were more interesting character, there could have been a final battle between Furiosa and them. But I also didn't appreciate like the chasing. I thought they should have been like a more like a fight, you know.
Yeah, because the woman she kind of hangs on to the car and then she just falls off.
Right,
That's it.
right. So why don't you chat?
Let's see. Dementus was way smarter than a lot of the other guys, and somehow I don't know how, but he has no chance. Yeah, I mean, it probably explains why he's the leader among all of them. He's like the little, just a little smarter than all the rest, and that really gives him an edge over all the rest. Oh, guys, I forgot to mention I watched Jurassic World Chaos Theory last night. It was pretty good for season 1. Oh, okay, so it's like a series. I'm watching Movies Camp, Cretaceous, and Chaos Theory on Netflix. Okay, I was hoping we can talk about movies, scary stuff, creepy things that go bump in the night, in chat, whatever. Okay. Have you guys made any plans to come to Australia this year? Oh, man, I don't think it's going to happen anytime this year. Yeah. I have no plans on traveling anywhere.
All right, I'm back.
But anyway, so like Joe said, the side character, the lieutenants, they're too generic. They should have been a little more awesome.
So let me give a score now. Wonjin, so you give it a 9?
Yeah, I give it a 9.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest. I'm fluctuating between 8.5 and 9.5.
Okay.
Because I do feel like I'm gonna watch this again and again and again and again. Because the world building was. I do think it's gonna get some Oscar noms though. Maybe you're right, but it's so hard. Okay, I'll give it a 9 too. Yeah.
So it's a certified 9.
Yeah, certified 9 by JoeJinMovieSoAwesome.
ZZ also gives it a 9.
Great. I was watching an interview with Gibson. He said he would be interested in return to the Mad Max if they pay enough money, give him the amount of money. They're not going to pay him enough because he's not the. I mean, he's still a superstar, but I don't think he's just that level. And because this is a. I do wish before we end. I do wish we get more of these movies.
Yeah.
I love the Wasteland. So my hope is either a Mad Max movie. Like I really want to see Tom Hardy return. I thought it was one of his like underrated roles. And another one where maybe we meet new people in the Wasteland.
Like the Chronicles of Immortan Joe.
No, stop obsessing with him.
How
Joe,
did he
man.
rise to power?
No, I think it's gonna
He
end.
used to be a poor little boy.
No, because
who loved his mother.
No, because
But then
Wonjin.
something happened.
No, because Wonjin. I don't want to see prequels no more. I want to see new stories. Because I felt like part of the story in Furiosa was dragged by that. I thought it was limiting a little. The fact that they have to reach the Fury Road, like a Fury Road point. But I think they might do a Mel Gibson prequel, right? Because in the Fury Road, we were hinted at his past. He kept seeing vision of a kid. And then the arrow stuff. Remember that scene where he gets stuck in the arrow?
That was a good touch, though.
Yeah.
I also like how it almost penetrated his skull.
Right.
Yeah, that was a good touch.
So I do want to see more movies in this world. I like the grunge concept a lot. What would be the only way Mel Gibson... So, Walker, let me ask you, do you want Gibson to return? Is that why you're asking? Because to me, I felt like... since Fury Road, this is a updated version of that. Yeah. All the mania and crazy weird behavior of humans in a crisis situation. Yeah.
It would be nice to see him return. Although now, after watching these two movies, I think his return is not absolutely necessary or anything.
What did you think about Hemsworth's performance?
My honest opinion is that I think it's like a miscast.
Oh, you really?
Yeah. I mean, he did a great job at playing this character, but you know how you said that his lieutenants were generic? I thought his character was also generic,
really?
played by him. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Because Immortan Joe, he has such presence.
Here we go.
But the thing with Dementus and portrayed by Chris Hemsworth, to me it just felt like he's one of the bikers.
But
I mean, no matter like the Jesus thing and everything, he just still to me kind of feels like he's a generic character because when you see the bullet farmer guy and the people eater, you can see that they're distinctively like distinguished and unique from the others. But with Dementus and Chris Hemsworth, he does a lot of evil crap. But to me, he just didn't really seem like that evil person.
I understand. I respect that. But I would say this, though. I wouldn't criticize him that much. But I just felt like he felt just short of actors like Heath Ledger or... Because the one scene that I did love was when he was like mumbling to himself and when Jack was getting executed. I thought if the number of scenes he had was 10, I thought 6 or 7 reached that level though. But I do agree that some scenes were maybe not as strong. Yeah. Because for example, Heath Ledger's Joker, there's almost no scene to waste. Like, and I like for Hannibal Lecter, for example. Yeah. Hannibal Lecter is in there like 16 minutes, but he just dominates every scene.
Yeah, and the thing is, every time those actors show up on the screen, you have this anticipation that something's about to happen. You anticipate. But with Chris Hemsworth, that just didn't happen with me, and neither was I like terrified by his presence. Okay, I was just like, okay, yeah, it's your turn to shine on the screen.
Okay. Yes, I want Mel Gibson to return because he hasn't been in the Mad Max. Okay, so you want the original character return? I mean,
I kind of wish they had actors like Edward Norton or somebody to play that role. That would have been scary as hell.
Really? Oh, okay.
Someone like Edward Norton.
But I did think they were trying to go for that Bane look, where he's a big, like, godlike looking guy, but insane, or you know, I wouldn't say Bane is insane, but he has this contrast of huge physicality with
his sophisticated mind.
Right. But anyway, so guys,
are you guys against Mel Gibson returning? I reckon it'll.
No,
be
we're not against it or
we're
anything.
not against it. We just don't see it likely to happen.
Yeah, realistically. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We give Mad Max Fury Road.
Oh, not Furiosa.
I'm
Mad
sorry.
Max Saga. He's already low on sugar, I guess.
We give this a 9. We highly recommend it if you like good storytelling, simply put, and some great action in a dark, gritty world.
Yeah.
We will be right back in 3 minutes to talk about the Ministry of
Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Another movie by Guy Ritchie. And then we are going to have our Let's Talk session, Walker, where we can talk about anything you want, guys. Okay? Oh, my God. Take your vitamins, Joe. Thank you. I mean, you know that I'm a grandpa and an old fart guy. So, you know. I went to the bathroom twice alone. In this. No, but in my defense, though.
All that non-alcoholic beer.
Yeah, me and Wonji, we've been having some beer beforehand. So, anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This has been JoeJinMovieSoAwesome. I was Joe.
I was one Jen.
And hide your DVD players. Bye. See you in 3 minutes. We should put that picture on. Yeah.
Not just your DVD players.
Hide your
VCRs.
Cassettes.
Your VCRs, Betamax.
Your CRT TVs are mine.
Hide your 8-track audio cassettes.
Oh yeah. I almost said something inappropriate, but I would love to see Chris Pratt play Mel Gibson. Oh, that's actually more interesting, Walker. That's actually quite interesting.